What's up, you guys? It is loading. I'm going to bring this up on my Facebook too so I can see who joins, since that is a thing that I can't really see. Okay, so leave a comment as you join. I'm going to bring it up on my phone as well, so that's why I'm looking over here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now turn the volume all down and see exactly when you guys join, which is awesome. Okay, so today, you guys, I am super excited because I get to geek out. It's like my favorite thing to do. I'm such a nerd, especially when it comes to business and psychology. So psychology, I actually studied in college. I think I'm a few credits shy of like a psychology degree, which that's lame. I'm sorry. I take that back. I don't have a psychology degree, but I have studied it in college, and I think it's really interesting. I do a lot of personal study on psychology, and especially how it interacts with marketing and business. So I want to talk about that with you guys today so that you can actually connect with your audience. A lot of people, I'm sure you know, get this feeling like I'm saying all this stuff, I'm putting out all this content, I think this is what I should be saying, or maybe you don't even know what to say, but it's not connecting, and people aren't engaging, or it's not converting, and there's just some kind of disconnect. So I want to talk about how you can make your marketing message really clear, and some of the things that you need to keep in mind in order to actually connect with your audience. So the first thing that I want to say today is that and this is a quote I would write down: a confused mind says no. I'm going to say that again. A confused mind says no. So if your marketing message is extremely lengthy or complicated, or they have to go to 7 different web pages to figure out how to work with you, they're not going to do it. They'll say no. And that's not necessarily like a marker of laziness, or it's not necessarily that they're not motivated enough. Truly, like, our mind is hardwired to take the path of least resistance. So the more complicated something is, or the more confusing it is, the more we like naturally kind of shut down and check out. And that's a protection mechanism, by the way, just so I think this is interesting and it'll play in later. So your brain wants to conserve energy, and thought takes energy. So the more thinking you have to do, the more figuring out, etc., the more mental energy you're using. And to the brain, that is an unnecessary expense, especially because we are going through so many ads every single day and seeing so many different companies every single day and trying to figure out what is the best way for us to move forward. The more confusion that surrounds your brand, the more of a risk it is for the brain, or the energetic expense for the brain. So it's just going to shut down and say no. So that's kind of the first principle of today. Now, to apply this to your guys' marketing, I really want you to make sure that it is simple. People should be able, within 5 seconds, you guys, 5 seconds, people should be able to know basically like that they can trust you, what you're selling, and how to get it. Those are the top 3 things. So when they go to your website or your Instagram or your Facebook, you have to have it set up so that they can trust you, they know what you're selling, and they know how they can get it. Now, we'll dive deeper into that because obviously we also need to create a need. We need them to understand why they need this product, which we'll talk about later. But those are the top 3 things that you need to really focus on controlling in some capacity as you start building your websites, your Facebooks, etc. So for how we do this, I'm going deeper than I thought, actually, but I'm on a roll here. So how you guys would do this: for Facebook, this is going to be like your cover photo. You need to have a cover photo and a personal profile picture that's going to kind of engender this trust, that's going to prove that you are someone that is in the industry that knows maybe what they're talking about. So I recommend having at minimum something that's themed with who you are as a brand. Or if you're using your personal profile, you can do like a collage of some sort that has pictures of some of your wins or something along the lines, that when someone goes there, the first thing they see and what's in their mind is like, okay, this person actually knows what they're talking about or is actually working in this space. So I have a couple people joining, but I don't see who they are. So leave a comment, you guys, as you join, so I can say hi to you. Still trying to figure out how to navigate the members or the attendees thing. So anyway, so that's how you do it on Facebook. In Instagram, you guys, you need to do this in your Instagram profile. You have an aesthetic, and then obviously in your bio. So on Instagram, you want to make sure that your profile picture is creating whatever kind of feel you want your brand to have, and then your bio is going to reinforce that. Your bio is also a really good source of your SEO, so that's your search engine optimization. So when people are searching on Instagram, is your bio going to tell them that you're the kind of person that they need? So if they're searching for a business coach, for example, in my bio it says business and mindset coach. So that's going to come up really quickly. That's my optimization. So that's how you would do it on Facebook and Instagram. Those are to create trust. Remember the 3 questions. Create trust, know what you're selling, know how to buy it. So again, in your bios, have a link to your website. There's a lot of people say you should only have 1 link to keep it super simple. So most people will say do it to a landing page or to your website so that people can go there and buy whatever products you're selling. So that's number 1. Remember, a confused mind says no. That's the first principle today. The next principle is going to go into what I mentioned as far as how we create the idea that they need our products. So this is creating that need, or marketing basically. So the second principle is that the mind is hardwired to thrive. So people are going to pick up on things that they think or that they believe are going to help them to thrive. Now, whether that's to be happier, fitter, whatever their personal values are, and this is true for every single product and industry, you guys, by the way. I know some of you might be saying that like, oh, that doesn't apply to me, or like, oh, you know, my products don't do that. But if you are, when I was selling leather products, for example, what I was selling, I wasn't selling a purse, I was selling an identity. And that helped people to thrive. I knew that people lived in that identity, that they are involved in that community, that they like these kind of products because it helps them to fit in with an in-group in that community. So even if you have a physical good, even if you have, you know, maybe like a jewelry or something that doesn't seem quite as linked to like survival and thriving, I guarantee you that your sales point is going to be along the lines of helping people to feel better, look better to other people, to enjoy their life more, etc. So it all plays into the same idea. Principle number 2, the mind is hardwired to thrive. So keep that in mind in your messaging, you guys. You really need to help people understand what your product does for them. And here, I see this all the time. It drives me, I want to help people so badly every time I see this. But I see people all the time that are so jazzed about their own product, and they know what it does. So they'll jump in and they're like, oh, and they have this like 25-word long title, and it's like, this is so cool because it's like, you know, the algorithm optimization, techie, automation, yada, yada, yada. And people are tuned out by this 3rd letter because they don't care. They don't know why they should care, right? So it's our job as marketers to take our knowledge, which can be pretty in-depth, and translate it into something that helps people understand. So for example, with my book, my sales book, one of the first things that I address, so my sales book is a different approach, is authentic sales, right? One of the first things that I approached when I was working with my small business clients with this program was I wasn't selling them on like, yay, sales, like congratulations. What I was selling them on is, we're going to make your employees more confident. We're going to help them understand how to do sales, not just what they should do. And that was my selling point, is that we were going to be doing some transformational learning that would allow the business to thrive. So hopefully you guys can see the difference between that. I didn't come in, and this is what will make you, like, so this is what will help distinguish you from your competitors, by the way. I don't like thinking of as competitors because I actually don't think that like competition is a good model for thriving in business. But that's a different TED talk. But what's going to set you apart from other people in your industry is this ability to sell on the unique thriving points of your product. So when you go in and when you're marketing, when you're writing your copy, make sure that you're illustrating what your product actually helps people accomplish, or what changes it helps to engender in their life. Okay, so that was point number 2. The mind is hardwired to thrive. So the next one that I'm leading up to with the previous 2 is number 3, stories help lower people's defenses. So we are so used to being pitched to, you guys, like constantly. I literally probably get 5 to 10 cold pitches in my inbox every single day. And it drives me insane. I hate it, to be honest with you. And I think most people do. I think we're all kind of sick of this like cold pitch culture that a lot of people have experienced at this point. So people's defenses are at an all-time high. every time you go to pitch a product, people are looking for the pitch. They're expecting you to be taking advantage of them. Like, this is kind of just the norm, unfortunately. So what we can do instead, and what I teach in authentic marketing as like being an authentic marketer, is don't pitch people. Like, don't go in with the intent to sell a product. Don't go in with the intent to like win them over or make money, because that mindset is going to cause you to come across as a salesperson or as someone who's pitching them, right? So what we do instead is we want to tell stories. Stories kind of circumvent that defense, because we're not coming at someone head on. We're telling them a story and we're inviting them to join in on a journey with us. And that's the key difference. So when we tell a story, you guys, we are putting the consumer or whoever listening to our story in the shoes of the main character, which they are in their own life, by the way, and that's so important. I've mentioned that in this group before, but your customers are the main character in their own story, and you can never, ever, ever forget that. You are the guide. You are just the person that helps them get from point A to point B to point C to point D. You are not the main character in their story. So let go of that right now, and that will help you a lot with any insecurity too. But anyway, so when we tell people a story, we tell them that we've been in their shoes. We tell them that we understand what they're going through. We tell them how we overcame and what we're doing now, right? So you look at this motif in like your favorite influencers. This is how they've done it. I almost guarantee you. Think of any of your favorite influencers that you follow and what their story, what you know of their life. And I almost guarantee you it'll follow a pattern of them having a really hard time or a pivotal moment in their life. And they'll tell you this, right? They had this really hard time, they had this pivotal moment in their life. They had a time of struggle. Then they had a time of epiphany or figuring things out either on their own or with different resources. Then they got through the struggle to where they are now, which is better. So usually, typically, the story will go that now they're in this better place. They're on the other side of that struggle, and now they can help other people get to the other side of that struggle as well. This is the common story. So that is so important, right? Because we all resonate with that, and we can all see ourselves in it. When we put ourselves in the shoes of the main character, we can say, oh, I'm struggling. Like, I'm right here in the struggle part of your story, and you're over here, and you've already made it through. So now I just need to follow you there. That's why we follow people. That's why we listen to what they have to say, because it touches into a part of us that we want to improve. Again, I'll go back to the mind is hardwired to want to thrive, right? So when we are seeing other people get through our issues and thrive, we are just absolutely rapt, right? We're like, oh man, I need to tune into that. So this is what you guys need to create. When you're selling your products, I almost guarantee you that you've gone through a similar transformation. Your products are probably a representation of something that you've had to figure out on your own, or something that you're naturally good at that other people aren't. So in your marketing, that's the story. Tell the story of how, I know one of the girls in the group, I'll use her, she has content creation. So tell the story of when you didn't have any content and you couldn't get your message out. So you had to spend so many long hours, or you had to attend so many workshops or whatever to figure out the formula that creates awesome content. Then now you're on the other side of that. You're creating awesome content, you're getting engagement, and you feel fulfilled and heard. And people will tune in because they see the struggle and they resonate with it. They see what you did and they respect your authority because you put in the time, right? The time and effort. And then they see the after and they want to join in on that part of your journey. See? All right, stories. See, that's so different than selling someone. It's so much more fun. It's so much easier. And honestly, it's so much more authentic. Like, it truly is more natural to who we are as people. And it takes off all this pressure to be someone else, because you just have to share authentically and invite people in on your story. So that plays into the last point that I have today. So point number 4 is that people are naturally risk avoidant. So typically, I should say, some people like risk, and I've talked about this before too. Some people like risk, but people in general are risk avoidant. So when it comes to marketing your message, they're going to be, like I said, kind of defensive. They're going to have that fence up, looking for the pitch, looking for the catch. So what we can do as marketers is to lower our perceived risk. We can lower the perceived risk of following us, of buying from us, of everything else. And again, we do this authentically, right? We're not trying to say, this isn't something with a scam where it's like, oh, in the fine print, you know, like, yeah, we got you or whatever. We really want to help people come in open-minded. We want to help people come in with their guard down so that they can truly experience the benefits of what we have to offer. So some ways to do this, some ways that I do this. So when I want people to sign up for one of my programs, for example, one way that I will lower the risk of signing up for my programs is I'll say, you know what, it's a money back guarantee. If you complete the course and you don't feel like it was worth the money back guarantee, no questions asked. So that way, when people are looking at my sales copy and they're thinking like, oh man, I don't know if I want to spend this money, and then they can say like, you know, there's literally no risk. Like you can get your money back if you don't think that it was worth it. Okay, well that's a lot easier, right? And we see a lot of companies do this. Amazon has free returns on everything, plus free shipping. You know, that was really what set them apart. Walmart does this too. You know, the price match guarantee. The price match guarantee is, by the way, a way to lower risk, because people, instead of saying like, oh, maybe I'll go shop somewhere else for a cheaper price, they're like, oh shoot, I'll just buy it, and if I see an ad for somewhere cheaper, I can come back and get my difference or whatever their ad is. But no one does that. Nobody actually does it, right? But that's what Walmart has done to lower the perceived risk of just buying all of your products and not worrying about the price. So it's very tricky. It's very, very smart of them to do. And again, this just plays into our psychology. So that's point number 4, though. People are typically risk avoidant. So between those 4 points, you guys, you have a pretty good basis to go off of in how to market authentically, right? So let me go run through them again. I have them written down, so I keep checking down. So a confused mind says no. Make sure that your messaging is really clear what people are getting from you, what you have to offer, I should say, and then how they can get it from you. This means having a call to action easily available. So put your website in your bios. Tell people how they can buy from you, okay? Number 2, the mind is hardwired to seek survival and to thrive. So make sure that you are bringing up how your products help people to thrive, okay? And then number 3, stories lower people's defenses. Don't sell people on your products. That's not your job. That's too much pressure for everybody. It's not fun. Tell stories. Invite people to join in on your journey. Tell stories about your products. Tell stories with your content. Really use the narrative, the power of narrative, to help bring people in to your party. I've used this metaphor before, but I'll use it again. Imagine you're hosting a party. You as a brand are hosting a party, and you're inviting people in, not by selling them. You're not, you know, saying, hey, come to my party. You're saying, hey, I'm having a party. We're having a great time. You're welcome to join. And people will, right? So think of it that way instead. And then number 4, the last one, is people are risk avoidant. So keep that in mind in your messaging, in your offers. You do not want to put people on the spot. You don't want to have people feel like they need to be defensive, feel like they need to, you know, kind of step back or whatever. So make sure that you are lowering the risk whenever possible by offering guarantees, by offering, you know, whatever you think of for your industry is going to make the most sense. Like, you know, free shipping is a really good one. People love that. People love free shipping. So that's another risk that you can take off of for your physical products. So I hope this is helpful. I see a couple people have joined, but I've gotten no comments. So you guys comment if you're on. Hopefully I might not be seeing them. I don't know. They change everything. It's really weird. But anyway, so that's our Friday training. Leave a comment when you watch this, even if it's on the replay. Let me know what you guys think. I hope this is helpful for you guys. I know I had a request to go over how I've doubled my audience. So I have literally more than doubled my audience in the last like 2 weeks. It's crazy. And so this is basically how I've done that, you guys. This has been the content that I've been putting out. Oh, hey, Pine, how's it going? So this is the content that I've been putting out. This is the other thing that I would say is that party metaphor I mentioned before. Go interact with people. The way that I personally, like the actual way, I'm just going to give it to you guys, how I have more than doubled my audience the last few weeks is I have been posting everywhere. So I post on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, and I go interact with people. I think of it as like my 15 to 20 minutes. I only take 15 to 20 minutes a day of daily love. And I get into this space where I like feel love, like I truly like just feel up to the brim with love for all the people that I am going to interact with. And then I just search hashtags, or on Facebook I go into my business groups or whatever, and I literally just go send love to people and give them advice. So if I can find a post where people are asking for advice or asking questions, then I will like, in my head, literally while I'm saying this, I'll say, may you be successful and may you be blessed. And then I will write the best advice that I have. And I spent 15 minutes doing this, you guys. Like, that's it. It's not that hard, right? But I'll do this probably 10 different groups and a couple different hashtags, maybe on like 10 or so profiles. I'll just go, you know, like their pictures, send them some encouragement, and every single one, I literally look at their profile picture, their profile, and I say, may you be blessed, may you be successful, may you be happy, whatever, any something along those lines, and just send them love. So first of all, the reason I do that, it's maybe selfish, I get a kick out of it. That is like the most high vibe way to start my day. You have no idea. And then, of course, people feel that in my comments. So people are seeing these comments that I'm giving value freely. I'm not trying to say like, oh, come buy my product and I'll tell you the answer. No, I mean, like, I have more than enough information to share. So, you know, go giving authentic feedback, really pouring myself into it. And then I think that extra element of like truly caring and wanting them to succeed. I've just gotten like stupid, crazy amounts of requests. So that's how I've grown my audience. It's worked out really, really well so far. They're almost all in my target audience, which is fabulous. And then same on Instagram, I've been getting a lot more followers. I basically built my account from nothing in the last like 3 weeks. So it's all a work in progress, but someone had asked me to share that, and I wanted to let you guys know exactly what I have done. And I'll continue to do that, by the way. As I grow, you know, as my brand grows, I'm really excited to kind of pour into you guys in this group and let you know behind the scenes what I'm doing, as much as you guys are interested in that. So keep posting in the group. I really love the engagement. I love when you guys collaborate. And don't forget to sign up for our mastermind. I'm going to schedule it for, I don't know, I don't remember if it's this Sunday or next Sunday. I'll have to check. But I'll post on the group. Come to the mastermind, you guys. That is money. I can't believe it's free, right? Like, that is gold to get feedback from other people in this space. So that's all I have to say. This is a super long video. Thank you so much for watching and joining, you guys. Have an awesome weekend, and definitely let me know like if this is helpful to you. Leave a couple comments. Let me know what you think. So, all right, bye guys.